Hello my friends, welcome back to Meerkat Musings. Welcome to a prompt video because as always I'm trying to do this in a multi-channel kind of way. So for this occasion, rather than doing this in written form, I thought I'd do it in verbal form. And the prompt from a WordPress, which I don't always use because they're a bit I think mundane at times, but this prompt was about what makes a good leader. And I have a few thoughts on that. I'm someone who has had leadership roles in retail. I'm someone who has worked under other people, as one does. And over the years, I've picked up a few thoughts and ideas as to what I think makes a good leader, a good manager. And I think first and foremost, and it's one of the things that I always strived to do when I held a leadership role, it was about leading by example. I think if you're prepared to do the jobs you are asking of others, then you garner more respect from those that you are leading. And you can also, with that as well, develop an understanding of what it takes to do that particular job, which means you can offer more constructive feedback about it. And it also gives you an idea as to whether or not people are being tardy as well. If you know a given task takes 15 minutes, for example, and other people keep taking 20 to 25 minutes, then it means they're either struggling in some way, shape or form, or they are not pulling their weight. Either way, you can identify that and help them out. But in general terms, a good leader will inspire by leading by example, and also they will be offering up good, healthy, constructive feedback to their team. And that can be feedback which might, yes, be critical, so to speak, but delivered in a way that tries to push people to move forward. And of course, if the feedback is positive, well, never ever shirk away offering up positive feedback. If people are doing things correctly, recognize that, praise them for it, and make it clear that they've done a good job, because people do respond very well to that, I think. So those are the qualities that I think make for good leaders. Leaders who inspire through their actions and motivate and encourage through their words. I think people who rely upon, shall we say, for lack of a better word, cruelty as a method of motivating, really do miss the mark quite spectacularly. And I've worked for people in those circumstances as well. I've worked for bosses who believed that shouting and screaming at their staff in front of other members of staff, no less, was somehow the right motivating tool. All it did was make me think of that particular person as being an asshole, and it certainly didn't encourage me to respect them or to want to remain working for them. Whereas conversely, people who guide and teach and motivate are a whole different ballgame. And there are some managers who I would be very happy to work with again, and that I actually regard as being friends because of how they've kind of shepherded me, taught me and helped me. And those are the people that I try to emulate as well. The other thing, with all of this is I was once told you should never end up in a situation where you have to raise your voice, because if you let a situation get that bad, you've already failed. And I agree with that. If there are problems, then you need to kind of nip them in the bud sooner rather than later. Allowing issues to fester will do no one any favours in any way, shape or form. And, it's important, even if you are, shall we say, disciplining someone, it's important to stay professional, to be firm, but equally, not to be nasty or aggressive, because I don't think that teaches anyone anything. So that's kind of where I stand on the idea of good leadership. And well, I would be intrigued to hear other people's thoughts on that notion, as always. But that's my view. What's yours?